It's been a while since I did a vlog, and I really want to start showcasing more of the aesthetics of my life. It's one thing to tell you about building your own life, it's another thing to show you what the life I built for myself looks like. And Friday is a day that is ruled by the planet Venus, which rules over beauty, love, romance, art, creativity, sensuality, and money. And it speaks to our passions, to our values, how we relate and experience pleasure. And I really try to channel this energy into my Fridays. I like to have leisurely days on Friday, and I tend to lean on activities that focus on pleasure, creativity, and generally just pouring into my own cup. For me, Fridays typically include a bath, a face mask, and other beauty rituals, some time reading, maybe time in nature, maybe painting. There's always a slow yoga practice, some form of an indulgence, and anything that helps me to relax and restore. And this particular Friday was just that, relaxing and restorative. I woke up around 8:30. I've been sleeping so late and so much lately. Straight away I made some tea. This is a root tea that is liver supporting. Every morning I meditate straight away upon waking, and since December I've been practicing kundalini with Kylie and the Angel course. I'm going to link the course and my article of the things I loved in January, where I talk a bit more about what the practice is and what I gained from the practice, in the description of this video for anyone who wants to dig deeper. This class is hosted right on Instagram, which makes it super easy to turn in. I started the Angel course in December. I skipped a couple of days in December, January, and February, and I made the commitment to see the entire month of March through, and I'm really enjoying this month's practice. After Kundalini, I made some breakfast. I had leftover steak from the night before, so I made some cute little breakfast tacos. It was sunny out for the first day all week, so naturally I had my breakfast in the sun. Whenever I have a chance to eat in the sun, especially while it's winter, I take it. After breakfast, I decided to tackle one of the garden beds that was infiltrated with weeds. These are literally all weeds here, except for the occasional carrot. This is a carrot, and this one is purple, and this is going to be a purple carrot, and that's why the leaves have this purple tint. So I have to be really mindful when digging out the weeds to not pick up anything that's supposed to be here, like these carrots. The garden has to be completely weeded by hand. We can't use garden tools to dig up the weeds or to till the soil. Tilling the soil is actually really harmful for it, and it essentially messes up with the structure of the soil. If the soil is compromised, that means there's less nutrients going into the plants. Less nutrients moving from the soil to the plants means less nutrients in our food. I've been filling this medium-sized box with the weeds as I go because it forces me to pause, to stand up and stretch my legs instead of filling a giant box and staying in that squat position for God knows how long. I also have to walk to the other side of the house to dump it. I've been growing my own food for as long as I can remember because my mom has been growing her own food for as long as I can remember. My mom's family that emigrated from Italy were gardeners and farmers, and my great-grandmother taught my mom everything that she knew. And if you're interested in learning more about gardening, I'm going to link my mom's Instagram in the description of this video because she shares so much about gardening, and she'll even mail you some organic seeds to start your own garden if you shoot her a message. I never had my own garden that was like big. My first garden was my apartment balcony in Miami, and my second garden was at the home I was living in before I moved to Italy. But they were all container gardens, pots and raised beds. Weeding this garden bed, which is only about 1/15 of the entire garden my mom plants each year, really gives me such a deep appreciation for my mom, who usually does most of this herself. To call this a labor of love would be an understatement, and I'm definitely going to appreciate her tomatoes a little bit more this year than I did the year prior. I ended up filling this box 6 times, which meant 6 trips to the garbage, which I ended up filling up about halfway. So naturally, after all of this, I really needed to wash my hands. There's just something therapeutic about growing your own food and everything that goes along with it. I spent 3 hours weeding, getting my hands in the dirt, connecting to the earth. I didn't even listen to music while I was doing this. I just enjoyed the sun and the sounds of the birds and just being able to be outside after a chilly winter and a week of rain. It also took me 8 minutes to get the dirt out of my nail beds and off of my hands, but it was definitely well worth it. I always do a face mask on Friday. This week I'm about to get my period, so I kept it simple with just bentonite clay, a bit of pearl powder, and some propolis. I usually take a bath on Friday and really enjoy the process of taking a bath, but like I said, the sun was out for the first time in like a week, So I really just wanted to spend time in the sun. I showered and made some lunch, which I also ate in the sun. I know that this is butter on crackers and it's weird, but it's also delicious. After lunch, I went for coffee and a treat. All of these beautiful pastries, and not one of them was gluten-free for me. I don't drink coffee often, so even just getting a coffee was a proper treat, regardless if I didn't get something sweet to go with it. I got home and enjoyed my coffee and changed my sheets. I used to change my sheets on Sunday for the start of the week, but when I started making Friday about long baths and beauty rituals and really leaning into my pleasure, it really just made sense to have a fresh set of sheets on my bed on Friday. And after changing my sheets, I headed out to yoga, and even though it wasn't a proper sunset, there was still a nice sky to drive to the gym to. Yin yoga is a really sacred practice to me, so I don't like to record the class, but I am glad that they kept the lights up from the holidays. It just makes the space feel that much cozier. When I got home, I made some pizza, I watched some Netflix, and I called it an early night. While my Friday wasn't super eventful, it wasn't meant to be. I like to use Fridays as a day to reset, back to slow living, back to romanticizing my life, back to reminding myself that the small moments and finding these small, slow moments to appreciate is what life is really about. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel, and don't forget to subscribe for some more.